Hi everyone, it's me, Coco, Facebook friends, family. How are y'all? Good morning. It is Sunday, March 24th, and this is my first Fighting for Encouragement video. The first thing I wanted to do was pretty much catch you up on some of the things that I've had to deal with. I feel as though that is the one thing that a person can reach out to and listen to you when they've been through something similar to what you've been through. Matter of fact, I feel like a lot of my trials and tribulations not only made me stronger, but I went through them so that I could be able to tell the next person, you know, what I went through and how I, and how I went through it and how I came out of it. And then they too can learn from that and grow from that. So a lot of the stuff that I've been through, I'm like, God, why? And he constantly tells me, so you can be a light for someone else. And so that you can motivate and encourage and lift them up because you've been there. I can't tell you enough how powerful it is to get encouragement from someone who's actually been there. They didn't read a book. They didn't, Google it, or, it's from experience. And experience is, they always say, it's the best teacher. And I have come to truly, truly believe that. Okay, so to encourage you today, I'm going to talk about some things that have happened to me and what I've done to, change that around, because things were going to the left and they should have been going to the right. And because of that, a whole lot of things got out of control in my life. So this is pretty much the short story. Grief, handling grief the way I did, it caused me to have this dark place in my heart, in my spirit. I was just disconnected, not only from my husband, but from God. I just had this big disconnect because I was like, I don't know. I don't want to say that my faith was, yes, I'm going to say exactly that. My faith that I thought I had, that I thought was so strong, and I've been bragging about my whole life. Oh, I have faith. I have faith in God. I trust him. Oh, Lord, I trust him. I've been singing that song and thought I truly meant it in my heart. But guess what? At that time, I hadn't really went through anything. I just, I'd been through some things, and as far as I knew at that time, it was serious. But the true test of faith came to me when I moved to Dallas. Well, actually, leading up to coming to Dallas. Of course, everybody know about the miscarriage. It was devastating. It took a lot from me. Lost my grandmother 3 months after that. Wade lost his job. We moved here. I go through fertility treatments because it was very, very hard and difficult for us to have another child. So basically, I had to go through fertility treatments, and I don't know what y'all know about fertility treatments, but it is very, very, very harsh on a woman, and a man watching her go through that. So we went through that to, conceive Nevaeh, and the whole pregnancy was rough for me. They told me I would lose her. They told me a whole lot of things, and it was a very difficult pregnancy. And then I have her, and not only did she have the things that they said that she was going to have, but more. But in spite of all that, I remained, as far as I knew, I was okay. I was dealing with it. You know how we say, I'm strong, I can handle it. So in my mind, I'm handling it. But guess what? I was not handling the situation. I was basically containing those things. And when you contain things that's hurting you, one day you explode and you become this totally different person that you don't even recognize when you look in the mirror. That was me. I've always been this loving, compassionate, giving person, always smiling, always got something positive to say. Let me tell you that most recently I became a totally different person, negative, very rarely smile because I'm like, why? Why smile? I prayed for certain things and they didn't happen, and so I became just rude to the people around me, mostly my husband, because he is the one that's constantly up on, around me. So a lot of my attitude, my bad attitude and snappiness and just being, completely from where I was raised from. I was not, my mother's the most giving, loving soul I know. And a lot of me comes from her. So I know that wasn't me. And I didn't know how to go about fixing myself. So I just, I tried doing different things, getting out the house, going, to get my mind off whatever it was that was causing me to be that way. Nothing worked. In fact, it seemed like I just kept getting worse. The fights at home kept getting worse. It just felt like my whole world around me was crashing. And let me tell you why my world was crashing around me, because I had a deal. I had an issue. I handled it by trying to handle it myself. We have a God for a reason. Okay, I'm gonna just leave it just simple as that. We have a God for a reason. He is here to help us when we get to the point where we can't help ourselves. Every battle that comes to us isn't for us to fight, and that's where I had issues with, because I was raised around a group of strong women who have had obstacles thrown their way and still came out strong. And I've always admired the women in my family. I've always said that I'm from that, so I'm strong, I can handle anything. No, I got to the point where I couldn't handle it anymore. I couldn't do it myself, and I wasn't supposed to in the first place. I was supposed to lean towards God more when I went through those things that caused a bunch of grief and things in my life. I was supposed to reach to him and pray harder, and my faith was supposed to be stronger at that time, but because I had those dark places contained, it was room for the devil. It created dark places for the devil to dwell in. He dwells in dark places. So because of that, the devil came in where he felt as though he fit in. I let him come in, and it almost caused me to lose everything. My mind, everything. So I'm here to tell you, whatever you're going through, whatever it is, whether it is you lost someone you love, or the job that you wanted didn't come through, the finances in your life isn't where they, so you going paycheck to paycheck, whatever your issue is, sickness and, whatever it is, lean towards God, because he is the one that's going to fix everything. And it's hard to feel like, trust me, I know it is difficult, very difficult to have that type of trust when you're in the midst of that storm. It's hard, but you have to do it, because things will only go down. So now I'm happy to say that I feel like myself again, and that I feel as though, I'm stronger because of the things that I went through. I feel as though those things didn't kill me. They made me stronger. And it's because I serve an awesome, awesome God who will never, ever let me go. And although I did stray away, he's the type of God that he accepts me no matter what. And when I'm ready to come back home, here's my Father standing there with his arms reached out to me. Like, come to me, my child. You're always welcome. It's like a college student who goes off, they leave the home, and things just don't work out where they are. They made some mistakes, and then they have to make that phone call saying, I need to come home, and they're pulling up to the house, and here their father and their mother with their arms out. You're always welcome. You're always welcome home. That's the type of God that we have. We go off and we make the worst decisions known to man, and we just get so off, and we get to that point where it's like, I'm ready to come home. It's time for me to come home. I can't do it anymore. Things are just not going right. Here's our God with his arms out, come to me. You're welcome home. Come back. So I'm back. I'm back home, and I'm loving it. I'm going to share with you, I just made a point about sorrow and how my sorrow, my struggles have caused me to be stronger. Listen to this. Birthing and everything you bring forth comes through sorrow. If you're going to bring forth anything in your career, your marriage, your life, if you're going to develop anything in your character, if you're going to be a fruitful woman, it will come through the things you suffer. You will enter into strength through sorrow. Sorrow is not the object. It is simply the canal through which the object comes. For every sorrow, for every intense groaning in your spirit, you ought to have something to show for it. Don't let the devil give you sorrow without seed. Anytime you have sorrow, it is a sign that God is trying to get something through you and to you. I received that in the name of Jesus. I received that, because I promise you, I have never been through as much as I've been through lately in my life. It's something, and you know what? I feel as though right now I have to go through that to get to where I am now. How can I be? I have to first, in order to be elevated, I have to get to the point where I feel like, okay, Lord, I need you right now. Sometimes you have to get low. You have to go through the horribleness in order to get to that point where you're empowered in the world, and the Lord can actually talk to you now. I feel as though I can actually hear him talk to me now, because I've been through so much and I've come out of it, and I know why I came out of it. Sometimes it takes for us to have to go through those things to make us stronger people. So don't let your trials and your tribulations and the things that you go through in your life that's so drastic, don't let those things be things that destroy you. They're not meant to destroy you. They're meant to elevate you. They're meant to empower you. They're meant to make you strong. And I know that now. Like I said, experience is my best teacher, and I'll be 30 next month, and I still have a lot to learn, and I'm sure, and I'm going to be accepting of the Lord's wisdom and him coming to me, and in my life, I'm accepting him wholeheartedly no matter what I go through. I've learned that when I go through something, that's when my faith needs to increase. That's when I need to pray harder. That's when everything just needs to, that connection with him needs to be stronger. That's the same thing I want you guys to know. Please just let him come in where he fits in, not the devil. Let him come in and handle it for you. Let him handle it. He does a better job. Have a great day.